Hello there. My name is Miki Wright. I'm a salon pricing strategist with beautysuperstars.com, and I empower hairstylists to charge what they're worth. And I'm your host, and I want to welcome you to Beauty Superstars Talk, which is your backstage pass to experts in beauty. So thanks for joining us. And each and every week, I actually have the privilege to interview Black beauty bosses who are doing amazing things in the beauty industry. And we give voice to their stories and celebrate their excellence while they drop nuggets and help all of us to become better beauty pros and better entrepreneurs. So, this is actually more than a podcast, it's actually a movement to encourage Black excellence, entrepreneurship, to preserve our history, and actually to bring healing to our industry. So I want to thank our sponsor, Black Beauty Expo, which is the hottest show for Black creative entrepreneurs in the hair, fashion, photography, modeling, and makeup industry. And their next show is going to be Sunday, October 10th in Richmond, Virginia. So be sure to follow them at blackbeautyexpo.com, and you can follow them on Instagram at Black Beauty Expo. So you can keep up with the latest news for the show and actually special vendor packages. And in addition, I'm super excited to announce that I'm the Global Education Director for the Black Beauty Expo. So if you are interested in educating, to please reach out to me. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. We usually have a monthly series, and this one is called Double Trouble. All of my guests over the next month are known for both their cutting and their coloring. And we know mastering either of those is no small feat. So we'll sit down and break down what it takes to win in both of these areas. And you are absolutely going to love my guest. My guest today not only excels in cutting and coloring, she is a trichologist, she's an educator. Her list is really long, and so we're going to have a great time today. And before I welcome her, I really want to take a moment and just read through some of her bio so you can hear a little bit about her. But her name is Miss Evie Johnson, and welcome, Evie. And she's a professional celebrity stylist. She is a salon owner, certified trichologist, platform stylist, and educator trained under the most prestigious lines such as Vidal Sassoon, Pivot Point, and Activia. Evie's expertise is also represented by prominent product lines such as Alberto Culver and Mazzani. She is hands down a master of her craft. Evie holds the title of Master Stylist for Mazzani's International Development Team, specializing in hair shaping, coloring, and treatment. Evie's creations can be seen and identified around the world. Simply and bluntly put, Evie Johnson has established herself to be recognized as a global icon. You can find her work almost everywhere, whether it's thumbing through pages of spreads of trendy hair magazines or ad campaigns by your favorite product line. Evie's work speaks for itself. She has also personally styled celebrity notables and industry recording artist clients such as Tasha Smith, Trey Songz, Lorianne Gibson, Chrisette Michelle, Deborah L. Lee, and Deborah Cox, just to name a few. Although Evie runs a tight schedule in her salon, she makes time to share and educate her fellow beauty professionals with her cutting edge styling techniques, as well as her latest hair shaping trends and custom hair units. Using skills she's acquired over the years, Evie educates beauty professionals on taking their careers to levels some thought they could only imagine achieving. And she has professional experiences as a certified trichologist, innovative leader, professional educator, creative cosmetologist, with an immense background and perspective focused on the technology of hair management, treatment, and styling. So we want to say welcome. Wow.
So listen, as you're reading, I was like, who's that? Is that me? I'm about to say this woman should be a little bit older, right?
Okay, right.
Thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. Very grateful.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you. And one of the reasons you're here, in addition to all of your skills and accolades, and your, training the world and all of that, is that you are a NAHA nominee. And
Yeah.
so congratulations. It is such a great honor. And it's like, we'll go into more detail. So if you're watching and you're not sure exactly what that even means, it's like, we're going to break it down for you. So I always like to get started just finding out, like, how did you even get into the beauty industry?
So it found me. It just kind of like jumped into my spirit at age 7. I knew I wanted to be this fabulous hairstylist, well known. And I just didn't want people to know me as just like doing hair. I knew I wanted to be very iconic in the industry, whatever that industry was. And so I went to beauty school at 13, age 13. And then, of course, I started, before going to beauty school, I would do my family's hair, my sister's hair, nieces, whomever, anybody I can touch their hair, doll babies, I wanted to do it. And so that just fueled my passion. And so then, of course, I went to beauty school at 13. I was done by age 17. I had to wait to go to the board to get my hair license. So I waited my time impatiently. I waited impatiently because I was ready to get into it. Although I worked in a salon since I was 13, it didn't matter. I wanted the license to say, at that time, Evie Peterson. I didn't want it to say, I just needed my name on something. And so that just kind of catapulted my my career, and I always loved it. I've never been out of love, with how some people get burnt out. I have not experienced that yet, so I'm still going strong. I'm just like that, that wagon. You just keep on ticking, But that pretty much got started really early, though.
Yeah. So what was going to school like at 13? Were there other folks your age, or you were like the youngest?
I was the youngest. I was the bossiest one. I'm in there to tell them these people don't know what they're doing. I'm always the one to be like, oh, she don't know what she's doing. So I knew a lot. And I always worked off her energy. So whatever the energy moved me, that's what I would do. So some of the things the teachers were teaching, the instructors were teaching, I felt like I already knew how to do it. So this is what the teacher would teach it, right? The instructor would teach it. And then I would be like, if someone was struggling, I'll go over there and help them like I was the instructor. So I guess it's always been in me to like instruct as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I always got gratitude of helping someone else. But it was really different going really young, but no one knew my age. So that was the other thing too. I might look young, but no one knew my age. And so they just got to respect it because they was like, oh, that little young lady know what she's doing. So they just allowed me to lead.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very cool. And it's like, in a lot of ways, it's like you remind me of me. With just, it's like, okay, now do it this way.
Yes.
Yeah. So was there anything that surprised you about going to beauty school? Anything that you kind of took away or would say to someone who's maybe considering going to beauty school now?
Well, I don't know if this is probably the right thing to say, but I didn't learn anything.
Okay.
Let's just be transparent. I didn't learn anything. I thought that going to hair school was going to teach me how to do things, but it really didn't. It just taught me the basics, and everything else I had to use common sense and creativity. I think a lot of people think when you go to hair school or beauty school or barbering school, it teaches you how. But without craft, meaning, being a hairstylist, their creativity has to be pulled from somewhere along with the passion. So I walked away not knowing anything, just the book, just the Milady book. And they didn't really teach me how to be it didn't prepare me for what was behind the chair.
Okay.
It gave me the books. And when I got behind the chair, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on? So that happened. That's the only thing that really kind of like surprised me. I thought I would know more and do more.
Mm-hmm. So did that influence the way that you teach and how you teach and what you teach?
Absolutely, it does.
Okay.
It definitely influences because I felt like it wasn't a lot of care in school. It was like they taught it, they expect you to get it, but then come to check and see if you got it, and it taught me not to say, like, if I'm saying, okay, Miki, let's do this haircut, and you're actually doing it, and you get to a part where you're a little troubled, and I can't be like, the first thing we say, no, don't do it like that. That's what I used to hear all the time. And you got to understand, you don't know where people come from. You don't know what they've been told, no, how they feel insecure. You don't know that. So what it did was it taught me not to say no currently when I'm instructing and teaching, because I don't want to take anybody to a bad place. So what the right things I've learned to say is what words matter. Right. And so now it's like, okay, so yes, you're on the right path, but this are the things I need you to alter or change. Okay. So this is looking good, but let's try this. So, you want to fuel the people that you're teaching and instructing with energy and don't take it away from them. But I felt like when I was in school, a lot of that energy was taken away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really powerful. And it's really, I can only imagine really challenging to spend, you said from 13 to 17, feeling like the passion and the things that you were looking for weren't there, and not only weren't there, but being, partly taken away from you.
Yeah, you can't do that. And I watch other people melt down and drop out. Then I had all the confidence in the world, so it didn't bother me. But what I did was I would see the individuals that we would go to lunch and stuff, and they'd be like, I'm gonna drop out. And I'm like, why? Well, I'm not getting it. And she ain't telling me, and he ain't doing this. So I'm hearing them speak. And so the first thing I thought was, when I do this, I'm not gonna do it like that. I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna do it like that. And what I knew is that I had to arm them with all the energy, even at their young age, that I need to uplift them and not take their power away from them.
Right. Yeah, that's very powerful, because I think that I guess artists in general, it's like we tend to be a little bit more sensitive anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's like like you say, if you don't come with that level of confidence, that it's hard to sustain just that part of it. And you haven't even gotten to being behind the chair.
Oh yeah, you haven't even got behind the chair, for sure.
Yeah. So how did you transition into all of these different areas? It's like, what was the path?
Okay, so when I was in beauty school, I used to fall asleep a lot. Ooh, I stayed sleepy because I worked in a salon. I was, I did a lot.
Uh-huh.
So one of the things that pretty much got me on my roadmap is when I did wake up, I heard the word trichology. And I was like, what's that word? So my instructor was like, well, it's like a person who studies the hair and scalp. And so I raised my hand again and I said, so what's their specialty? What do they do? Well, they just study the hair and scalp and they tell you problems that people have. And I'm like, because in another life I was a surgeon, just so you know.
Okay.
Surgeon and an actress. That was the other life.
Okay.
So it was the hairstylist, the doctor, and the hairstylist. So I was like stuck on that word, and it would not leave me, Miki. It would not leave me. And so they said that you have to go back to school to get another license. And I was like, I can't even stay awake in this class. I already know I'm not going back to school. I was done.
Okay.
So over time, I couldn't understand when I'm working in the salon as an assistant why this person had hair one time and then they not have it another time. So I would ask questions. Why is she shedding? And I'll show Kim, the lady I was working for, a clump of hair. And I'm like, well, she's not stressed. She has a good life. Her husband takes care of all the bills. And I know this is not her life. What is it? So I kept trying to figure it out. So I got on the search of trying to figure out what a trichologist is and how they operate. It took me years. Then I stopped there. So I always had this thing of coloring my hair. I colored my hair at age 12. I have like this reddish brown hair. I put on this dark gray jazz and rinse to cover it up. I always like changing color. I only wanted blonde doll babies because I like to dip their hair in Kool-Aid to make their hair change colors. Okay. So I've always had a little bit along the way. Then working for Kim, I couldn't cut. I could not get it. And so she used to make me take this mannequin. Mannequins back then had a huge head. So I would take me 2 hours to get there in the metro from DC to Maryland. Every time I worked, 2 hours there, 2.5 hours going back. And I had to carry this mannequin with me. And I had to correct her cut. And she won't let me correct it at the salon. She would make me go home. And then I kept tired of carrying this baby around because I felt like I had a child. And I said, you know what? When I get this, I promise you, I'm going to get it and I am going to kill it, meaning in a good way. Mm-hmm. So I had a hard time cutting, always liked color. The trichology never left me. Of course, I was already instructed in beauty school. So, there you go. Those are the four things that's coming out. And remember, I wanted to be an actress anyway.
Okay.
You have all these people that's brewing up, these 5 different people. So me, and the other thing about me wanting to color hair, I used to see African American or dark, very dark complected women with blonde hair that didn't look appropriate on their skin. So I was like, well, why did they choose this color? I don't know if this is the right color. And then I will always be told that, African Americans couldn't wear their hair blonde. And I'm like, well, why not? Why can't they wear their hair blonde? So every time you say no something, I always try to go figure it out. Normally I do. Mm-hmm. So the fact that people were told they couldn't be blonde, I said, I'm gonna figure it out. And when I figure this blonde thing out, I'm gonna make everybody blonde. I don't care how orange or purple or whatever I'm gonna find the right tone for their skin. So that's how I became blonde in hair the way that I do. Uh-huh. Trichology, people kept losing their hair. I had to figure it out. So I became a trichologist. So I just wanted to figure out how people are losing their hair and why. Because you can't tell me how they're using it. You got to tell me why. And I need an answer. So that became to lead me to be a trichologist. Working with the brand with Mazzani instructing. I always love Mazzani products. And so because I had a thing for being on stage, because that's all part of theater acting, it led me there. So then, of course, I become an artist on stage. And then, of course, leading a team, it leads me to be the technical director for a brand, which is Mazzani, and working for PPD, which is L'Oreal, right? So that happened. And then, of course, the cutting, I finally got it, Miki. And when I got it, I killed it. And so I concentrated on cutting because that was the hardest thing I ever had to learn. And so it kind of catapulted me into my career of being very precision and very precise because I didn't want to make mistakes. I wanted to be even and balanced. And then the other thing is I became very precise because, again, Black people were told they couldn't wear their hair like people that was Caucasian or Indian or whatever because they had very straight hair. And I'm like, we can wear our hair like that too. Why not? And so I kind of went into the world of general market, and everything they did, I bought it back and did it on people that was of color. And so that kind of pretty much started, what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you've definitely got all the facets, all the bases covered and some more. Yeah. And it's like, and I love your blonding. It's like, I think.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely got that for sure. And it's like, and we're here because, it's like we're celebrating people who have mastered both and who are known for both, because it's hard to be known really for either one, And so what is it that you think, I mean, I don't know how you define yourself, or what is it that you feel like you is your secret sauce, I guess you could say, what is it that gravitates people to you in terms of your clients, in terms of, the opportunities?
I have a signature, nobody don't do it like I do it. And I'll be honest and very upfront about how I say it. And it's not to have any chips or anything like that. You work from within here. Whatever is here comes out on the surface. I absolutely love what I do. There's nothing that can take me away from what it is that I do. I would never be burnt out in this industry because it's always something else new to do.
Right.
Right. I feel like my secret sauce is just me being me, me loving what I do and really, really owning my craft. I'm living in my purpose, Miki. And because I live in my purpose, I own it. And people gravitate because they know they're going to get the finished product that they need and want.
Yeah. Yeah. That's powerful. And I wasn't actually intending to even go in this direction, but one of the things that I see in the industry a lot right now, it seems like more than before, but maybe it's just social media, maybe it's just me, but it's like a lot of people in the industry don't seem like they have a lot of boundaries, don't seem like they have a lot of confidence, and don't seem like they have the just the direction in terms of, this is what I want to create, and let's create it with the people who want to as I say, play in my sandbox, it's like whether it's clients or what have you, I did a video clip a week or two ago, it's like with prices, it's like, it's like if someone questions our price, it's like we're doing backflips trying to make us like, oh, maybe I do charge too much. Okay, well, what do you want? I can, and it's just like, and I hear this great confidence from you, and I know you are a leader in the industry, and it's like, are there any things that you can say that might give someone just that sense of, that inner power, that alignment, that living in purpose that gives you the the confidence, I guess you could say, to create the boundaries that you need to excel?
Absolutely. It's just one phrase. You have to know your worth. If you're not knowing your worth, you can't stay in your purpose, and you can't execute your purpose. If you do execute in your purpose in a way where you don't know your worth, then that's where the confidence becomes a little lower. And then other people can tell you what you're worth and not you tell them what you're worth. There's no way somebody's going to tell me what they're going to pay for their hair. No, these are my prices, and this is what it is because I know my worth. And the thing about it is sometimes you might have to wean out the people who may not need, they're not worthy of your time and what it is, your creativity. It's okay if you lose them. It's okay. They was not privileged to be in your space. And sometimes I think we just want money, 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 but you must know your purpose and your worth. And that would be the only thing I would say to the person that really needs that confidence, because it starts with within here. Again, if you don't start here, how do someone else take you seriously? How does someone can pay you the prices you think you worth? So if you think what you just did was $60, that's what they're going to give you. $60 will probably try to jew you down less than that, Right. But if your prices are $150, that's what it is. So just know your worth. That's it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. I pray that it touches someone in a way that they hadn't been touched before, because we need this boost in our industry, because it's crazy just watching folks floundering in a sense. And
you know what, Miki, and a lot of it does come from social media, because you might have, let's just say Tracy is someone who works with me, not saying she is, I'm just making up a name. And maybe she's not on social media as much as Evie. So therefore she do the same work I do, and not to say anyone is better or less, the same things, but because social media had created this life where I feel like, okay, Evie can charge $60 for this cut, but because she's not on social media and she does just a good job, she would charge $30 because she feels like certain audience may bring more money. Well, she can charge that because she has a following. No, that's no such thing as he or she has a following. You have a skill and a set. So set your prices, give your skills, and conduct your business as normal. It's not about the following and what people have or how they dress or how they come off and present themselves. You have a gift and a skill. As long as you are doing that, you'll know your worth. And then not to mention, you're giving them good service. I mean, you're giving good quality of your work. Creativity is everything.
Yeah. So yes, it's like definitely, it's like, like you say, the creativity, the work, the customer service, and then the products that you're using. It's like all of those things create the experience for the client. So yeah.
Social media does not give you the experience, honey. Because normally 9 out of 10, the people who always say they have these followers have really bad experiences. That's just from a little homework.
Okay. Right. Well, you were part of Fabric of Change last year, which was with, I guess, it was headed by Sam Villa and Tippy Shorter was the host, and it was all Black artists all day. And to me, it was just so historic. And it's like, I really was excited about it. And I left feeling very emotional about it. Like, it's almost like television, like when you used to just see, a Black person or what have you, you see, things that, it's like where people are like grabbing everybody, like, hey, come see, it's like it's a Black person on TV. And I was so disappointed that you had technical difficulties and I didn't get to see you, but I
Yes,
just,
that was my birthday.
oh no.
Yes. Oh my God. It was the worst day ever.
But what was that experience like for you, from being part of it, even though we didn't get to see your hands-on demo, but you were definitely part of the history of it. And, I'm assuming that you witnessed a good portion of it.
Oh yeah. I witnessed the whole entire day. It's just when I got to my segment, my internet went out because I decided to go to the salon and not do it in my home, which I
Oh,
stayed in my home and did it because I thought the internet at my salon was stronger, but it wasn't, not that. But nevertheless, it was an awesome experience. We had some really heavy hitters, and I love the title, being part of the fabric of change
mm-hmm.
because let me just say, Sanvia is amazing. So it's
Mm-hmm.
shorter. And being part and being, interviewed and things of that nature and being able to share my gift with the world and in such a powerful movement was definitely an honor. So it was great. I loved it. I did get the opportunity to do like 10 minutes. I think it was like in and out. So I was there. But I was just blessed just to have the opportunity. I really was. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a very significant, I think, day. And
It was.
yeah, a lot of people, came away like, oh, wow, it's like they did such a great job. They're so this, they're so that. And I was like, they're so that every single day, every time they step on stage, every time they present, every time, they educate. It's like, it was like the world got to see how wonderful we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And appreciate, I think, in some ways that were different. So yeah, that was cool. So let's swing over to NAHA. So
Hmm.
tell us what it is, because a lot of people watching may or may not know. What is it?
So NAHA is titled NAHA, but what it means is North American Hairstyling Awards. And so just to kind of give you an understanding how big it is and our beauty industry is like winning an Oscar or being nominated for an Oscar. So you don't have to really win it because it's so big. Just being nominated speaks volumes within itself. It's been around for decades and it's very much a chosen few. And once your work is featured or nominated for NAHA, it's like, man, what? For me, let me just tell you about me. I felt like, well, actually, not felt like, I have worked my whole career wanting to be part of this movement with NAHA. I just needed my work to be like, seriously. I was like, I have a room downstairs with printouts of all the people who have entries, myself and Jamal Edmonds, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I have the looks and I love precision cutting. So I'm a temporary classic, I'm the cutting. I've seen the transition from everything. And for me, I've worked my whole career just to be nominated in this, would be looked at it in that way, along with other things. But this was on the top of my list, and not to mention to be as African American, because how I learned about it was I was at the IBS Hair Show in New York, and I heard about it, and they said, "Oh, Black people don't get in that," and I was like, "What? What do you mean?" Yeah, and I was like, again, those radars go up. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, no, we can do anything everybody else do. I hate to see segregation. I hate to hear color. I don't like to talk about it. I know it is existing, but I don't like to be part of it. So I'm like, no, that's not true. Like, we can get out there and color and cut just as much as any other nationality.
Right.
Why do we got to be known to be styling hair all the time? We do so much more. We do so much more. And so I started this journey, myself and Jamal Edmonds, about 9 years ago, and started dissecting what they do and how they do it, learning the photographers, the wardrobe, and stuff like that. And so I am nominated for cutting, and it's been, you don't even know, like, if you can see that, like, my arm, like, seriously speaking, like, I get chills. You don't even have to win. But girl, let me tell you, I be on my phone. I be seeing my name on the website. I be like, that's me. That's me.
Right.
Everybody knows me as Evie Johnson. My government name is Evelyn Johnson. And so when they did the nomination, it said Evelyn. I was like, who is that? So I quickly contacted them. Was like, you have to change their name because not only did I get here, I can't be as an imposter. I have to be Evie.
Exactly.
I have to be Evelyn.
Right.
Yeah. So it's been a great experience. We're shooting again September the 1st. I'm super excited about me and Jamal collection. Like we're gonna kill it, like in a good way. But it's going to be, and I like to be able to, give other people hope as well. Because there's that myth behind you can't get in and you can't do this. And to be honest, Miki, I had given up on trying for so long because I didn't even think that they even see my work. And the one time that I honestly gave up on it, my assistant submitted my work anyway, and there goes the collection.
Oh, is that this time?
Yes.
Your assistant submitted.
Yes.
It's like you are not gonna give up.
Jay was like, Jay Smith, I love her. She's my right hand. And she was like, boss, that's what she called me. She said, boss, you have to submit this work. This collection is amazing. I was like, girl, I'm not, I'm over that. I'm not doing nothing else. I'm done. I just had a bad taste in my mouth. And then when I was at work, when I got the text message, just want some congratulations, I was like, for what? I didn't win anything. I'm looking at my phone. Tequila Riley had texted me and Jamie Wiley had texted me. And then, girl, all of a sudden, I'm standing there doing a haircut, and I just started busting out ugly crying. I was like, for me. It was so good. So I like left out the salon because now my palms are sweaty. I can't cut. I can't hold it. And I called my family, and it was because my family been rocking with me with this for a long time.
Okay.
All the money leaving and just doing all types of crazy stuff just to be able to, just been a family. So it's been a great experience.
Yeah. Well, you have me emotional over here. I'm like, I can feel it. I can definitely feel it. But yeah, talk to us a little bit about that journey, because I think that's important for people to hear. It's like you said, you've been rocking it like 9 years. It's like, and I know, most people would have given up long before you said, I'm over it, and your, assistant, does it anyway. But what has that journey been like for you, and why is it important for you to make the journey?
It's important for you to make the journey because that's what you set out to do. This was on my top of my list. So why remove this from top of my list is because I felt like I wasn't being seen. Sometimes just because you feel like you're not being seen doesn't mean that you're not worthy. You just got to keep trying. You got to keep trying over and over and over again. And so for me, my journey, it's been an amazing experience because Jamal Adams had been by my side. I have not shot without him. And I know you wanted to interview us both together, which would have been great, but our schedules are crazy, so we couldn't make it happen. But just know that we work in a tandem. He's my other evil and I'm his good, and vice versa. Sometimes he sees things that I can't see. We have to walk away from it. But it's been an amazing journey because, one, we can help other people, like our team, like Mazani, and other people that come, the other hairstylists that work with us to assist us, show them the other side. Like, although it's three pictures, a side, in the middle. And you do all this for 3 photographs, right? And you don't know, you standing on top of a ceiling, you got wind blowing, you got so many tricks and tips just to snap a picture. And when you say to yourself, you be like, man, I did a whole lot of, aerobics and, Pilates and yoga. But it's stretching you. It really does stretch you. Mm-hmm. So the journey was a lot of mentoring, a lot of homework, a lot of sacrificing, a lot of like, you know what? All right, we ain't win it. We back in the saddle. Let's go back and get it again. A lot of drive, and a lot of money. Right.
People don't talk about that all the time.
Yeah, financial obligation is not. It's not a little bit. You got to come with it, and it's about what you're willing to give up and sacrifice financially also too, because everybody's not sponsored. Some people are sponsored.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mazzani does help us out. Like they'll give us products, models and things of that nature. So we really, really have a good support system with the brand, but you still got to come out your pocket with so much more money to make this stuff work. But the journey's been great because I've learned so much. Not only that we not produce wonderful imagery, I still learned so much behind the scene. I was able to look on the other side from the camera and realize what I want other people to see. Think about, okay, so it's a range between this. Like you don't want anything flat. You want something like, like zone 2, you want it to be leveled out right. Geometrically, how does it look? How does her chin look? And I feel like my best collection, to be honest, has always been my first collection. My first collection was a killer. I would never not feel that way, stop feeling that way. And then this collection, how I came about with the theme was I didn't have an idea of what I was going to do. Let me just be real, because I was like, I'm so tired. I'm traveling, I'm bodybuilding, I'm doing all this stuff. I just don't really have time. I didn't prepare. All the other times I submitted, I over prepared. This time I was like, look, girl, just go ahead and do what you do and stop playing around. And then the photographer, Richard, he told us the same thing. He was like, Evie, just cut. You'll cut it. Just go cut. And I'm like, right, do it. Jamal was like, Evie, go on there. Evie, just do it.
Right.
So the theme came from 80s, 90s, 2000s, right? 80s, 90s, 2000 haircuts. So I took 80s, the 90s, and 2000 and merged them into one. So like in the 80s, there was a lot of mullets, right? So I merged it with a modern day 2000. So 80 meets 2000, all in one person. Okay. So one of the imageries where you see it flipped out in the back, that's the mullet. And then the front is where everybody kind of wear everything precise. The 90s was more, the 90s was the page boy, Holly Berry, T-Boss. So I kind of took the 90s and put them together. So I wanted very edgy sideburns. And then it met 2002 because it had the shade, the undercut. So she has an undercut. So the undercut was very popular in the 2000s. So I was able to take each collection that I did and just merge them all together. And so that's how I came up with the collection.
Yeah, that's fabulous. I love hearing your creative process, even though you were like, oh, I wasn't prepared and all of that. But it's like you definitely had a direction you were going. And even if it evolved, it's like, I think, that point of reference or point of view is kind of what comes through in the finish. Yeah. And yeah, it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal collection. I'm going to see if I can get some of the images maybe to merge in here so people can see, what we're talking about. But yeah, the work is fabulous. And you spoke to a couple things, like one team, it's like we're in an era where salon suites are really big. But you were talking about you and Jamal working together where, one person can see something that the other person, it's from a different vantage point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what is that process like, or, kind of putting your team together, having those different sets of eyes, your, photographer, you've got your makeup artist, you've got your fashion stylist, you've got, all of these components, your model.
So having a storyboard really works, right? Okay. So that's the first thing. You got to have a storyboard. You got to have a vision. You have to create these characters in your head and put it on paper so people can see it. And it's almost like creating a character with a movie or anything else. Like you got a person, but what's her personality? What does she eat every day? Does she sleep? Does she got a husband? Does she got kids? She got a dog? Or what is it? What's her day-to-day? You have to really create these individuals. It's not so much as taking a picture, because that picture you shoot got to have a personality to show strength, strong, and not weak, because you want very strong models, and you can't have a weak model. They're not going to win it for you. So having a team, you have to have a vision. So regardless of whoever you get, like I can call Miki up and be like, okay, Miki, I need some help on set. Are you available? You'd be like, yeah. What's the plan, Evie? I can't just tell Miki, come help me if there's no plan. Right. So at the end of the day, you got to have a plan. You got to have a vision so a person can capture your vision. And picking that team is picking people that are like-minded like yourself. Anyone that's chosen got to be stress-free. I don't work stressfully for nothing. So a person got to be able to change on the fly, be able to make changes and not get in your feelings about it. Sometimes when Jamal is creating his images, I'm like, friend, I think you kind of going off scale. Like, for real? And I'm like, yeah, I think maybe if you try this, oh, you're right. Okay, let me try it. You have to trust.
Yeah.
You have to say that again. Like, you have to trust. And sometimes he'll be like, friend, don't you think you need to break that up a little bit? Because he likes texture. So he'll take and flip. I want everything straight, narrow, and whatever. I see texture. I don't see texture, And so because I don't see texture in the way that he sees it, he's able to be my texture eyes. So when I see precision, he don't really see it. So I'm more of a scale person. He's looking at texture. I'm like, it needs to be balanced. And so because of that, we just work well together. Work very, very well together.
It's beautiful to hear, it's almost like a dance,
Yeah.
It's like, one person's over here and it just works. So
yes.
Yeah. I think there's like so much, I know that I gained from working with other people, and I had a stylist that I worked with, and we worked across from each other. And so we could see different things from a different perspective. And it's like, why don't you try such and such? And it's like, oh yeah, okay. And the same, we were just back and forth, and it was really great because I think our clients got the best of what we were doing, because it's like, it was two sets of eyes, two levels of creativity versus just one. Because when you're on the hair, it's a different perception, even if with your own work, it's like if you ever do the work and you're like, oh, it looks okay. But then like maybe you see them walk past the window outside and you're like, oh, that does look good, because you're seeing it from a different perspective.
Right.
And you mentioned the camera. What things did you learn from, like looking at your work through the camera?
You can't look at the hair from here as the photographer is shooting because, oh, let me make sure the hair's right. You have to look at the computer or the camera to make sure they seeing what you think they seeing, because you're going to see flyaways. You're not going to see all that stuff looking at the model take the picture. You got to look at the screen. So if the model on set, you need to be looking at the screen. So that's one of the things that I learned.
Okay. And lighting and that type of thing as well, because sometimes what you're thinking you're seeing, the way they have it lit, will create something totally
absolutely
different.
And the neck, they may move a certain way, maybe a little roll. You be like, take that neck over here, You can't really see it because when they're moving, you just see movement in the neck. You don't really see where it creases or they need to elongate, but the camera captures everything.
Right. Yeah. And you talked about not being seen. It's like you were saying something about that, and I think that is something that I don't want to gloss over, because I think that is not uncommon. It's like, if you will, like, you've done all this work, you poured your heart, your soul, and everything into it, and you feel like you're not being seen. And I think that we need to, there was something that you said about it, like, it doesn't have anything or any connection with your worth or your value.
No, it doesn't validate who you are. Just because somebody don't see you, don't validate your work and your talent. Just continue on your journey. And believe me, whatever's going to be for you is going to be for you. Right. And it will shine. It's not your time. I'm a firm believer in when it's your time, it's your time. And just because you're not being seen, you can't be like, oh, they don't see me. You can't have a hissy fit. You just got to continue on your journey.
Yeah. So, I think that's definitely something, a lesson for us all to learn and take away. So with NAHA, what would it mean to win? It's like,
you know what, Miki, I already won.
Yeah.
Already won.
Yeah.
Already won. Like, because my goal was to be a finalist, and I won that. Awesome. So if they call my name, and when they call my name, y'all gonna have to just get an ambulance stretcher to take me out of there, because I'm done. I am officially okay.
Yes.
It's very rewarding though, very exciting. Like I'm not gonna be able to sleep. I'm gonna be crying all the time.
Okay.
So many different things, and I'm not even an emotional person.
Okay.
I'm telling you, because it just speaks volumes to me.
Yeah.
For me.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it like to kind of go on this journey with your friend, with Jamal?
My bestie, like the thing is, if he win, first of all, if they call his name, I won. If they call my name, he won. We've always set out and we made a pact. You know how when you're younger, you make a pact, and we said, regardless, whoever gets up there first, it belongs to us.
Right.
So we're just a winner, just submitting.
Mm-hmm.
Winner for being able to be part of a team together.
Right.
We're winner because we support one another.
Mm-hmm.
And we encourage one another. We're winning because we're part of a movement. We're encouraging other fellow hairstylists to, tap into your creativity and show the world what it is that you do on a different level. So we're winners by being able to be vulnerable to the industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So regardless of whoever name is called, Jamal Edmonds or Evie Johnson, we're both there together and we both winners together.
Yeah. Yeah. It's heartwarming to hear.
Yeah. And it's no jealousy. There's none of that. Like we literally, when he was nominated before, I cried like probably a couple days. I was like, Jamal, this is it. Like he was so shell shocked. Like it took a minute for it to sink in, but he's been nominated for 2 collections and I'm so darn proud of him.
Yeah, for this year. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What? 2?
Exactly.
Like, come on. And then it's like we got 3 collections out here.
Right. Yeah, it's phenomenal. And it's like, and the work you guys have done and like just the level, to perform, like you say, at that level, for a NAHA nomination. Just it's on a whole nother level. And I think styling is one of the categories he's in. And it's like, it's definitely not styling. You know what I mean? Like you think your grandmother, tease some hair and smooth it and make it look, it's a whole nother level of creativity and expression with the material or the fabric or the medium of hair. And it's so, I don't know, eloquent, maybe just, and elegant to see that, that we can raise the bars so high, with like, this is hair, Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, congratulations to you. Congratulations to Jamal. We're going to get to meet with him later on in the month and just excited and super proud of both of you guys. And you mentioned storyboarding, and I don't want to brush past that either because I don't know that I've done like a storyboard per se, but what is a storyboard and what does it look like, when you're finished, or what suggestions would you have if we're thinking about doing something in a creative pursuit and want to put together a storyboard?
So a storyboard is basically a rough draft of your vision, And so what it looks like is let's say, for instance, I'm creating a model. I'm doing a photo shoot and I'm shooting a model that's very slim, very earthy, and I know the look I want. Mm-hmm. This is like you said, okay, Evie, this is the model I want. Okay, fine. So let's take this model, let's name her, right? So we give her a name. We create a personality for her, whether she had kids, dog, whatever. She worked 9 to 5. What's her day to day? Does she work out? So a person can really capture who this is. Okay. And not even that, the model becomes her on scene. So you want her to portray that person, because it's like when you go see movies, you be like, man, he played the heck out of that role because he became that individual. That's the same with models and shooting. And so in your storyboard, you would have a paragraph of a personality. You would have jewelry. What do you want her to wear? Then you have pictures of lighting, how you want her to be shot. How do you want her to be lit? Then you're going to have pictures of inspiration. And this is all the inspiration. And you have several pictures of lighting. Pictures of hair color. How you want her color to look. How do you want her hair to be styled? Is it alternating? Can she wear her hair straight? Can she wear it up? Options, right?
Mm-hmm.
And wardrobe. What do you want her to wear? So you create this individual on this board, and that's who comes to life. So sometimes too, like, I know the next collection I want to shoot, I got to start pulling pictures of inspiration so I can create this individual.
Okay.
So that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you're doing it all online, or you doing it like on a board? Which way?
I gave it to Jamal. He puts it on the computer. I don't fool.
Okay.
I don't do that kind of stuff. My husband would do it, or either Jamal would do it. I don't be fooling with that. I'd be like, here's the pictures. I'm out.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And speak to us, it's like we're in an age, obviously a digital age where everybody has a great phone on their camera, but what are the benefits of getting and doing professional photography?
Professional without the cell phone. I mean, just capture the quality a little bit more, but these iPhones and Androids are killing it too.
Right.
So you can't get a professional camera, but if you're able to get one right now, you can use them for filming your digital classes. Like you can really show your how-tos. It's a lot crisp. So that's awesome. Mm-hmm. But it just gives you so many, more ranges of zooming in and zooming out, and keep the quality of the picture. So.
Okay. And not just like the camera, but like actually working with a professional photographer.
Oh, shoot. I mean, that's matter. You got to be able to have a certain size, so a phone can give you a certain size, because normally we wanted the megapixels, they wanted vector, they want stuff, a size that they can blow up. So if you win, it needs to be able to be on certain, marketing material.
Okay.
You have to be professional. Only thing can get you that is a professional camera.
Okay.
And a nice one.
Okay. And you said, what is it?
I said, and a nice camera.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. And so, like you said, you're going on this next journey to do it again. How do you find your sources of inspiration? What is that? Travel. Okay.
Travel really inspires me. Looking through hair books. I still look through hair books. I still buy home books, like Better Homes and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
You gotta remember, I see shapes. So I come with my inspiration comes from seeing triangles, squares, and circles. So I look at the beautiful industry, our industry by that. So like right now, my vision, like looking outside of my window, I can see trees and mulch and all that other stuff. But inside of the trees, I see roundness. I can see round shapes. And inside those round shapes, I can create a look and a trim. So I'm always getting inspired from buildings, the way that they are, architecture, and how it's sit, because it's precise. Right. So I'm very much into geometrical shaping to be inspired from that. And then travel because of the colors, fashion magazines because of the colors they put together, makeup, all of those things matter. So I'm always inspired by everything, but mainly traveling.
Okay. Yeah. It's like there's definitely a lot you can see that's different from what you normally see when you go out. Yeah. And with NAHA, it's like there have been, relatively few Black winners. Are you in communication with any of them? And Shirley Gordon is the first that I can confirm. It's like we're still waiting to see. I believe Olive Benson may have won it when it very first started, but we're still waiting to find that out. We've got Fatima Ampey and Michelle O'Connor are the ones that I know of. And it's like, are you connected with any of them?
Yes, I'm waiting to hear about Olive Benson. I haven't heard about her. But like Shirley Gordon, yes, she's right up the street from me. Of course, we communicate via Instagram or whatever. We see each other, mad love. And she supported me in Jamal's journey through the process. Michelle O'Connor, we supported each other during the process as well. She used to be part of the Mazzani team. And when she came in this industry, I actually trained her to be on stage. So her and I always in communication, whether it's via social media. That's like my sister. And Fatima, not so much, but I know her work and I respect exactly what she does. But for the most part, yes, in communication with everyone.
Yeah, yeah. And who are like some of the folks that you look to for, inspiration or that kind of keep pulling you forward?
I would say they would be in NAHA. What inspired me is the will to open the door for others. It's not really much a person. And I know it probably should, but it's not. It's not. It's more so like, let me pave the way for the next. So that's what inspires me.
Yeah, yeah. And even outside of NAHA, it's like, are there any, folks inside the industry family, anything that like?
It's a lot, actually. I absolutely love Sambia. He definitely inspired me. Johnny Stiletto, who does a lot of facilitation with L'Oreal, he inspires me. Ammon Carver, Michelle O'Connor, Jamal Edmonds. I can keep going on and on and on. Yeah. And we have a really, really good team, meaning L'Oreal, like the people that they create. Like, I just love their energy, everything about them. I love Lindsay Olsen. Like, that woman, she does it for me. And I have so many of my Mazzani team members who really, inspire me as well. You have Ashley Brown. I mean, everybody that I see that are moving inspires me, because it's like, okay, they move and you got to continue to move too, because remember, they inspire me because they keep paving the way for others. So whether I train them or not, so I might train you and then you may come up right there with me. We run it neck and neck together, but they continue to move it to inspire the next. So we all inspire. So I all look up to every last one of them. And then, we have our director of education, Kato Shell. I'm definitely inspired by her because she had to run 2 different brands. Yurish Hooker, who is with Pureology right now, he's like my brother. He's really good at facilitating. So I'm stimulated on different ways because I do love facilitating more than anything. And then you have so many people in the psychology industry that I love. So it's so many different people that inspire me, but these are the people who continue to inspire to move other people to action.
Yeah. Powerful list. It's like there's a lot of folks on there, but that's wonderful. I think that we just have to, like you say, continue to move forward, continue, I guess I call it elevate, what we're doing to pave the way for others. So
I mean, you do, because even yourself, like, you're inspiration, being able to still be in the industry and take the time to interview other talent and to showcase what they're doing. Not so much, everybody might not be part of that stage that's considered to be like their top tier, considered to be.
Right.
For other people who really know about, about what it is that you do. So I think, it's a lot of value and a lot of what you do, because you definitely make people aware. And I always loved and respect that about you. So again, there's another inspiration. That's Miki Wright.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. But yeah, I think, there's the people we know and see, but then there's a lot of people who are doing just amazing things that we don't know and don't see.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And a lot of people, I think, have worn the title of, celebrity stylist and wanted to be, called a celebrity stylist. But I was like, most of the people who are really doing a lot of work with celebrities, you don't even know their names.
No.
You might see their credits roll on the film or the television or something like that. But it's like, you're like, who's that? And
Right.
like, there's so much, on all the different levels of this industry. So yeah. So so thank you.
You're welcome.
The career that you are having demands a lot as far as like travel and time, energy, creativity. It's like, how do you balance you? And what system do you have or need outside of hair?
I have to give me time. So how I balance is, we were talking about this earlier. We did a group workshop with Dr. Berry, who was amazing. And, for me, what keeps me balanced is giving self-care to myself every day. And my self-gratitude is always, self-care is every day is what I give. I'm gonna meditate, I'm gonna give thanks, I'm gonna give gratitude. I'm going to ask God to just give me the strength to be able to pour into someone else. Give me the strength to be able to, share my gifts with other people. So I'm always praying and meditating. And so that gets me through my day. And so to answer your question, it would be self-care, to be able to allow yourself to get on a plane, get on a train, because things happen. You have clients, you speaking, you're doing interviews, you're doing so many things. But at the end of the day, or the beginning of the day, or the middle of the day, wherever it takes, I'm always having some type of self-care, whether it takes 3 to 5 minutes while I am singing, or whether I'm praying and just asking God to continue to move through me, and allow me to, well, first, I'm just so grateful for him to allow me to work in my gifts, and continue to have me to be a blessing to so many other people. And so because I'm such a blessing to so many others, that just gives me so much energy. I just get so freaking excited, and I just be like, oh, I could do this. So that gives me power.
Yeah.
The way that I do.
Yeah, because you do a lot, and you do it all well, so which is awesome. And it's like, I know with creativity, typically, maybe speak for myself, it's like it needs a channel to come through. So it's like when you're just like running here and there, that's not necessarily most people's creative best. And so
you got to remember too, you got to have a good support system too, because I can't do all this by myself. And doing this, you got to be able to say, be humble, and you got to ask for help. You got to ask for help. I can't do all this stuff about, I have to be able to, like, seriously, it's super, super important. Like today I have to, I'm supposed to be on I know I had you at 5. I was like, I have a 6 o'clock, hair loss patient that needs to do his follow-up. So I'm like over here trying to text him like, hey, listen, I'll give you about 10 more minutes. So you just have to just do it, but you got to do it with a smile. You can't feel, I guess for me, it's always knowing your why. And if you know your why, then you can operate any way you want to, because you know why you're doing it.
Right. Yeah. Well, that actually is a beautiful place to start to wrap up. So is there anything else you want to share with us? I'm always interested, like, what's the best advice you received? And
the best advice I would give is to everyone, including yourself, and is failure is not an option. And don't give up. Those are the 2 things for me. And I say failure is not an option because you can't submit to something you don't even know if you've done it or not. You can't submit to the failure if you haven't been shown or told that you can't get it. Because even if you shown or told, you don't have the last say in that. You don't. You really got to just continue to move in your journey, know your purpose, know your why, and just be told constantly that you're capable, and just continue to inspire other people so we can create this army of hairstylists that loves hair care. Because the breed that we're breeding now is not the same breed as hairstylists that I know and come from. So I think now this is a time where we all need to stick together and not worry about egos or taking something else. Like, seriously, I can teach everybody to blonde, but you would never do it the way I'm going to do it. And nobody's not going to never do it the way Miki does it. Right. And again, because I said you work from the heart and you work from passion. And so in saying all these things, just don't give up, just know there's only one of you in the world. There can never be other. And just know that you're worth everything. And in saying that, you got to know your worth. And I just wish everybody the best and continue to operate in their gifts and talents.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's like, we so appreciate you being here, and all of the nuggets you dropped, all of the wisdom that you shared. And how do we stay in contact with you? I see you're at Contact Evie.
Yes, that's my Instagram. And my Facebook, for those of you all don't have Facebook, is Evie, my name, Peterson, Peterson, Johnson on Facebook. And other than that, you can always Google me.
Okay. That's funny. But I told someone that I think we were on like a bus from the hair show or something, and we were getting ready to depart or whatever. I was like, well, just Google me. And everybody was like, Google you? Like, what? So,
Google me, baby. I always
when I think about it, it's like, yeah. But yeah. But love you, Evie. It's like congratulations on your nomination. It's like
thank you.
we're like cheering you on. It's like
Yeah, we can all organize our office together.
yeah, we might be all passed out together. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Right.
So
Thank
continue.
you for having me. Thank
Yeah,
you for yeah.
thank you, and thanks for taking the time. We appreciate it, and we look forward to just continuing to follow your career as it gets bigger and brighter and inspires us more and more. So thank you guys. Thanks everyone for joining us. If you have missed any of the Beauty Superstars Talk interviews prior to this, we've got a whole season, almost 60 interviews. You can visit beautysuperstars.com and sign up for to get on our list so you won't miss any future ones. And you also can view all of the ones that are past there. So it's beautysuperstars.com, and you can put /podcast on there and be able to check it all out. We want to thank our sponsor, Black Beauty Expo, and invite you to attend with us at the next show if you are available, which is in Richmond, Virginia. And so check them out at blackbeautyexpo.com. And we will look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Beauty Superstars Talk. It's like your backstage pass to experts in beauty. So take great care. Have a great night.